We smooched with 700. We kissed with 700. We were close to 700, but we didn't quite get there today. I do appreciate you guys being well into the sixes, though. That's awesome. Also, hitting 700 twice this week. Appreciate it. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow, especially if you're on YouTube. That's unfortunate what's happening there, but I just can't. I got to tell you, I was checking the Rumble stats yesterday. I mean, the Rumble revenue and the creator program revenue is so good. It really doesn't matter what happens with YouTube at this point. It's almost getting to a point where we could keep our memberships with YouTube. And I mean, the ad revenue is good. Don't get me wrong. The ad revenue and the views are up on YouTube, but it's diversified through clips and shorts and live. I mean, our views are up. That's the wild thing about YouTube. It's just that our algorithm shit for the live is. However, I will say that revenue in general, viewership for Steel Toe and revenue is up. And I wanted to talk to you guys about something. I talked to the evening show audience about this. We're coming up on a point here where we can drop the thing we're not talking about a little bit. However, if what we've been doing this week keeps working, then I guess it's immaterial. Or we could add someone on Thursdays and evenings. And what I would like to do is I would like to add Corey and Oz back to the show. And I would like to put Oz on the evenings or Corey on the evenings if you'd like to do that. And put Oz either on Thursday mornings or on the evening shows, one of the two. Or if you guys have an idea for someone to work with the toe, I think it could be a lot of fun. But as I was looking into shit, I was like, we can do some things. We can put some things back into the show to help it out, to grow it and everything else. Because I think right now, with where we're at in Rumble, we're kind of on the verge if we push a little harder to making a really huge breakthrough. So they treat us really well over there. I reached out to Corey. I reached out to Oz. I do want to add a person or two to what we're doing here on the toe. I mean, and think about how amazing this is. Went to jail, had all these dramas and all this stuff, got through it, got better, admitted my faults, moved on and improved as a person, got help. And now I have my family back. I have a beautiful woman. I have all this. And now the show's growing again. And now Rumble is just blowing up at the moment. Our clips on Rumble are doing incredible. And now we're talking about expanding. We're talking about growing. I mean, I kind of thought best case scenario for the toe without expanding into radio again, which we're still talking about. Without doing that, I kind of thought, well, you know, we'll knock it out. We'll keep going the way we're going and we'll knock it out. I didn't think, especially this soon, that we'd be in a place where we can go get some people. Rabbi Smoothie says, Corey still hasn't answered last year's texts. I get a text back from Corey once every 6 months or so. But I reached out to him and I reached out to Oz. McBuster says, what about Karmic? Karmic's got to get over his thinking the internet is real. He thinks he needs to hate my guts or whatever. When I made him and I built him, and I think with me hosting the show and I'm the best professional broadcaster in this whole world. I'm the best in the world. I'm the baddest motherfucker on the planet. Karmic hooks up with me, I could take him to new levels. I'm Karmic's rocket fuel. You know, I could teach him, he's a natural number two. Karmic is a natural co-host. Karmic is handcuffed. He's shackled by being a host because he doesn't know how to do it. Being a second mic is easy. You just got to react. And what is Karmic if not a reaction machine? You put Karmic with the toe, magic happens because I know how to manage the guy. I mean, Look at the career I was able to build with guys who had never done broadcasting before. My track record is solid. I got guys I worked with that I created that are still working in the game right now in the city of Minneapolis. My guys, my proteges. I can do that for Karmic because he's got personality. Rabbi Smoothie says, you're Karmic's Mick. That's right. I'm his Mickey Goldmill. He's just got to understand that and stop listening to jealous internet people. Chevy Fan says, Karmic, you're desperate. Hey, Chevy Fan, we have to have this conversation a lot. sometimes you might notice this is a comedy show and I'm f***ing around. Just, Chevy fan, do me a favor. Bring it down, but sometimes you get a little too tied up. That's all I'm saying, buddy. I'm saying it because I'm a friend. Papa Shop says, nah, the Corey Adam desperation is wild. What are you talking about? I love working with Corey. Yoko got a little bit in between Corey and I let that happen. That's on me. Paul and John let Yoko get in between them, and I probably should have saw it earlier on that was becoming a problem for him, and I get it. If I were Corey, now that I think back on it, if I were Corey, I think he would have been like, well, why is she getting paid as a full-time employee? Like, I've been putting in my service. I'm the best steel-toe second mic there is. I mean, he should believe that. I mean, he's doing it. He probably feels he should have gotten that spot, and she didn't belong there. She didn't belong as part of steel toe. And like long-term, he was right. He was absolutely right. I think this show would be on a different trajectory if Corey was the guy. And we didn't involve April in this at all. But how do you learn if you don't up first? Meow Meow says, just pick a whore from Chrissy's show. Am I the only person who doesn't like that these shows put that Scarlett chick on there when she she needs, I don't mean this as an insult. I mean this as someone who's watched her on shows, and, it's very clear she needs help for, substances, and she needs therapy for some mental issues. And she's obviously gone through some shit in the porn industry. Chrissy Mayer's a difficult person to criticize. And you probably know a lot of people like this in your life. They smile a lot and they're nice. So when they do really mean shit, they may not even know they're doing mean shit, but it's kind of, it's mildly sinister and evil. I think putting that Scarlett chick on her show, and I think anyone who puts that Scarlett on their show is kind of being sinister a little bit. I don't think she should be doing shows. I think she should be getting help. And, there's that disingenuous thing where people will put her on and people will be like, this girl needs help. She clearly is going through something right now. And they'll go, what? Well, she's an adult and I just asked her to come on the show and she says yes. It's, I've been hosting a show for longer than any of you guys have, and I know a little something about your responsibility. You do have a bare minimum responsibility. That day where Johnny was having a hard time with his MS and Mersh was teasing him and he started crying, and that was about MS and his life. And luckily, the thing he was told by his doctors didn't come true. I mean, he got some really scary news. I took him out for breakfast that day. There's a time where you can have fun with someone because they're, in a mood. But then there's other times where you just got to cut it and see if that person's okay. And on that day, I just needed to cut it and see if Johnny was okay. I think when people have this Scarlett chick on, I think they know she needs help. And they like to say, oh, she's our friend. Oh, she's our friend. Just because you appear on an internet screen together doesn't mean you're friends. A friend is an action, and a friend is they see someone like Scarlett on a stream and they go, we're not going to do this. This is not, I'm not going to tell this person that she can't stream or she can't be on shows. But if I'm in charge, she's not going to be on. I'm not going to put her on. And so it's hard to criticize people like that because they smile a lot. They seem really nice, and they probably don't even, it doesn't register with them that what they're doing is sinister, but it is sinister to put her on and not encourage her to get help. One thing I liked about when Gino and Keanu put her on is that Keanu pulled her aside a couple of times and said, maybe you shouldn't do this. Like, maybe you should just, I think Keanu even said at one point that she was uncomfortable, Redbird with $2 says, would love to have Corey back, but it's not going to happen considering the circumstances he left under. It wasn't awful circumstance. I mean, we've had people leave under worse circumstances than Corey, 09 Canyon says it's disturbing to see how messed up she is, but it could be a way of keeping her safe if he knows that people are going to be watching her and will notice any injuries. I don't know. I think putting her on streams is bad. I think that kind of attention when you're in that mind state is bad.